Hello everybody, and welcome back to probably the best game in the world, maybe? Farming Simulator 22. It feels good to be back actually. I've really loved Mod Runner, and I do still love it, and that's going to continue by the way. The views I get aren't quite so high as kind of my better known Farming Simulator content, but I am going to keep playing it because it's just what you enjoy. You've got to do what you enjoy, haven't you? But anyway, I am so happy to be back. Now, this is episode number 39 of Keep It Real. And I kind of remember what we were doing. We got a few bits to do. We've got that field with the grass to get on with. Now, the downside is it's raining. It's also quite dark. It's early in the morning. It's November. Just realised, actually, my time is also off. Let's change that. Time's 10. Good. So first things first, I think I can see there's some apples over there. Potentially we might have a few eggs. Probably not a lot, but there might be some eggs. Might be a case of trying to just sell some bits off actually. Because we certainly can't be doing the grass work in the meantime. Now, I need to go in and check in on the cows. And also check in on the ducks to see what they're like from a food point of view. Because they must be getting close now to being able to put the silage in. Now, I did have to at the end of the last episode, and I'm kind of getting a bit bored of having to do it if I'm honest, but I had to again go to the shop, get some bags of food, and it is real pain to do it because I don't have the right vehicle, but just enough to get these ducks just through the night really. So their grain is really low. Their grain is really low, but also I had to chuck a couple of bales of hay in. Although, why is it not showing? Oh, they're actually completely empty. Okay, right. I did throw a couple of bales of hay in before, but obviously overnight that is all gone. So, priority needs to be feeding the cows. They can potentially die, can't they? Because we have got the advanced animal mod on. And I don't want them to die because they are expensive. So that's going to be my first priority actually, so let's head on down. We can also, now that it's starting to brighten up in the morning, we can check out what we actually managed to do in that field. Because by the time I finished it, by the time I got to the end of the last episode, it was already starting to go dark. So hopefully we were doing a good job. From what I can remember, we still needed to cut a little bit more. We still needed to row it up. And also we need to pick up a lot of it as well. I think maybe I did a couple of little goes at picking it up. Oh dear, look. I must have left the light on. That's not great for the battery, is it? So yeah, no, I did. I thought I did more than that. Oh, I haven't actually unloaded it. Okay, so what's it showing there? 8,500. You'd assume maybe not quite that much, but there is more in there. And, of course, let's get the torch back on again. Yeah, quite a bit here. Look, still needs to be cut and picked up, so there is a little bit more to get. So really, we've made 8.5. Say, I don't know, let's guess. There's about 15,000 litres there from just the outside. So that's not too bad. That's relatively promising, isn't it? Relatively promising. Now, I will just turn those lights off. They might automatically turn off. There you go. And we'll jump into the man. But we'll spin it around, and I will take off the grass cutter, the mower, because we need to head back and just give those cows some silage. I really don't want them to die. They are very expensive, and it's just a bit of a pain to have to go back and forward to the shop, really. Good, it's going to want me to lower that, of course, isn't it? Let's try again. Detach PTO. There we go. Right, so I will put the headlights on, just because this potentially is still going to render relatively dark, because it is very early in the morning. So we've got to make that long drive back now, give the cows some silage, and we really need to think up a backup plan for feeding the ducks. And by that I mean we just need an easier route, an easier way of buying the food and transporting it. Because I can continue to buy it for a minute. You would do that again, keeping it real. You would do that in real life, wouldn't you? I don't think as a farmer you would purposely grow a whole field of grain just to feed your ducks. You would just buy duck food. So that's fine. I'm happy doing that. But I just need an easier way. I feel I need a vehicle again, to be honest with you. Even at this very point, even that little ATV we had, that little Mahindra, would have been pretty handy. Yeah, I need something. And I am, by the way, you've probably noticed it, but I am barely scraping through. £25. That's all that we have. £25, not great. It's funny. I've been watching, because I do, when I get a chance, I don't get a lot of chance to watch YouTubers, as you know, but when I get a chance, I tend to quite enjoy watching Dagwin's survival, vintage survival, I should say, sorry, vintage survival. And I guess actually you could say unintentionally, the way that this series is going, it's probably very similar because all that we can afford is vintage stuff. But I just like his concept of it. But he's announced this week, in fact I think he might have just literally decided the last episode he's recorded he's not doing anymore. He's obviously had enough. I mean, you've got to get the feeling for it, haven't you? The series isn't going right. It doesn't feel right. If it's not enjoyable, like I keep saying, then what's the point in doing it? But the reason he's done that is because he felt the progress was too slow, and that did make me laugh, I'm not going to lie, because, well, this is episode 39, and, wow, there's absolutely no progress at all in theory, really. I mean, it's a realistic amount of progress. I don't think Dagwin, I mean, Dagwin never watches my videos, I'm certain of that, but I don't think people actually mind the really slow progression, because I certainly don't. And you were doing a heck of a lot better than what I'm doing. That is for certain. I think you had 4 or 5 fields. I've only got kind of, wow, I've got 1 field and a bit of a yard, really. And I don't know. I don't know what his last episode was. I don't know if he's done as many episodes either. So, yeah, if anything, this series is a heck of a lot slower. But that was my intention. That was always my intention. Now, this is not going great as a start, is it? Good job this tractor's 4-wheel drive. But just let me balance. Come on. I might have to go stick that weight on. I only want to get this 1 bale in. There we go. That's alright. It's only because we were on a hillside. Just this 1 bale. Stick that into here. That'll give these guys some real good food. Am I going to need to drop it down? Surprised. Oh, there you go. Lovely. Let's move that out of the way first. Leave that there. Wonderful. Yeah, they're now showing loads and loads of food. 4,000 litres of food they're showing now. Let's go into this menu. Oh, it's funny that, isn't it? Interesting. 3,500 litres of silage. But here it says 3,968. That's bizarre. That is bizarre. Very strange. I do also need to get some straw for these guys again. What are we looking like for straw? Oh, it's still half full of straw. The animations aren't too amazing on this particular mod. Good. Right. First task of the day done. Now, doesn't change the fact that we have £25. £25, that is awful. And it's still raining, and I believe it's going to be raining for a little while. Let's have a look. Weather forecast. One of my favourite bits about this type of series is you actually have to check the weather. It's not very often you have to do that in Farm Sim. Right, so we've got an hour and a half of rain still. So realistically, I don't want to get on the grass cutting. You will see now just how muddy the ground is. If I try and do anything on that grass field at the minute, it's just going to absolutely destroy it. Absolutely destroy it. So we won't do that. However, what we could do is connect up our little trailer and sell those couple of pallets of apples. That'll get us some money. About £1,000 from memory, roughly. So that's good. We need that for definite. And let's get that connected. Do I need to connect a hose? Better do. And potentially, we can sell the eggs. Because eggs, from memory, sort of November. Yeah, October, November time is always the best price for you. Do you know, I forget. I need to get used to turning the engine off, don't I? When money's this tight, well, the ducks are wandering around a bit more than normal. What have we got here? I mean, wow. You know, I'm happy. Doesn't it sound ridiculous to be happy with that? 261 eggs. That is absolutely wonderful news. You wouldn't believe it. Just about sums up this kind of series, doesn't it? I'm getting excited about that. Shocking. I reckon, though, it might be worth selling that. Let's jump to pricing. Straight into the eggs. Okay, so, yeah. November is the best time to sell it. We are at the end of November now. So, we need to sell it. Obviously, we don't have 1,000. It would be amazing if we got that. I'd love to be able to make 2.5 grand just like that. But it ain't going to happen. No. But we're going to make 1/4 of that. Definitely worth doing it. Definitely worth doing it. Now, let me get on to... If it'll actually let me get on the chart. There you go. Lovely. We'll load up the apples. And... we'll chuck the eggs on the back. And we'll sell it all. Yeah. We've got an hour to burn. An hour to burn. I am looking forward to actually getting those fields finished though, and getting them compacted up and the whole silage process starting. That would be quite good. Now, turn the lights off, turn the engine off. Let's get these loaded up. So again, if you're only just kind of finding this series, finding this channel from this episode, this whole series is about keeping it real, as it's called. And I do everything as realistically as possible. Now, to explain why I'm doing this, in real life, if the game had me an option, I would load each individual crate at a time. But I can't, because the game doesn't work like that. But I'm not using super strength or anything like that. These are just liftable pallets. And realistically, you would just stack them in manually anyway, wouldn't you? So that's why I just do it with this. It's just easier. Oh, I'm just talking about progression. Imagine how slow it would be if I went that far into the rules. That would be crazy. But that's good. Didn't take too long. How long have these guys got? Yeah, they're close to producing pallets, but I'm not just going to stand there. There's too much to do. There's too much to get on with to just be stood there and waste time. So maybe that's another nice £1,000 to make in the next episode. I don't know when the best time is to sell apples. I need to do it in this view as well. That's the problem with trees, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know when the best time is to sell apples, but it's completely irrelevant because I need the money. It's £21 now. I mean, I don't know why it's going down. What's just causing it to go down by another £4? In actual fact, I thought it was £29 when I started. So something's costing me £4 every hour or so. What is that? What could that be? Maybe it's the water bill for the cows. Maybe. I've never noticed it going down like that before, but maybe that's what it is. Right, shut this off, jump out. 261 individual eggs. And this is probably going to be the most amount of money we've earned for quite some time. Amazing. Right, let's go get these sold. I know where the apples get sold to. Let's just, while we're here, let's figure out where's... The best price is the bakery, but the bakery is miles away, isn't it? Isn't it down here somewhere? Yeah, that one. That's a good guess. I'm not making that drive. We're heading to this place here, which is... I'm not going to say that. I'm not even going to try and say that. Somewhere French. And to be honest, I feel like maybe it is just worth doing that. Driving even further to the pizzeria just for... I mean, we've only got 1/4 of a pallet. That's for about £3. Cost us that fuel, wouldn't it? Right, let's do it. Does look like the rain's easing off a little bit as well. Let's jump back into this view. Wonderful. So yeah, anyway, I think everyone does enjoy this. I hope so. Anyway, I certainly get a lot more views on this kind of series than what I do on sort of a side series. Something I do different to Farm Sim. You know, the expeditions, the Mud Runner game, Farmer's Life. You know, that's still very much in the back of my mind. I do still want to play that. Just a case of finding the time to do it. Even going right back, the Cars for Sale simulator, you know, that's had quite a few updates, maybe to the point where it's worth playing again, but it was very glitchy and I even lost the save of those first 2 episodes anyway. But yeah, I like to throw those little side kind of filler episodes in of different games, and it is really, really helpful when you play Farming Simulator so much. It's nice to just have a little break once in a while, isn't it? Keep you fresh, keep your mind fresh. Certainly from a story mode point of view, keep the ideas fresh. I've still got lists and lists of ideas, by the way. I've got no shortage of storylines. Again, someone has said in the comment recently, and I don't think I've replied to it yet. I've been a bit slack with replying to comments for me, but I will reply to them all. But someone did say that a lot of the role-play type series are running out of ideas, and to be honest, the only one I watch now is Daggerwinds. And I will say they get shorter and shorter every time, to the point where I think, you know, you're lucky if you get 20 minutes now as an episode. And also, yeah, I think he seems to be, I get the impression he's quite keen to finish that series. And probably focus more on the slightly easier to produce ones. So for me, I've got 40 episodes worth of ideas already, stuff that I've not seen before, and yeah, we might even see some old faces make a return. Yeah, maybe not the good ones either. You never know. I'm not giving too much away. We got some Kevin Enfield stuff going on at the minute anyway, which will be a bit more of a plot once I get back into it properly. Now, why doesn't this seem to be selling the other pallet? Oh, there we go. So that's good. We're over £1,000 already. I'm happy with that. Shut the engine off, save a bit of fuel. But yeah, I've got plenty of ideas for story mode. I don't think that's going anywhere for the minute. So the only problem with story mode that I have is just the sheer amount of time it takes to actually produce it. It is very time consuming. Right, I didn't actually look when it happened because the egg sold so quickly. I didn't look to see what they made us. But £1,774 we have now. We had 21 a minute ago. So that's good. That's good. And as if by magic, as soon as I said the word "and," the rain stopped. I was about to say, hopefully the rain will stop, and it just stopped. Amazing. So we'll head straight back to the other field. I think sometimes it takes a little bit of game time, 20 minutes of game time I want to say, where the field is still kind of boggy. Oh, it's going to walk right out in front of me then. So yeah, so there's no major rush, but by the time we get there, hopefully we won't have the issues where the field is boggy. Now, I mentioned before, I thought you could get, well you can get, definitely, you can get a planter, which you can just hand plant little bits of seed, just hand plant, which is amazing. It doesn't plant grass, which has just ruined my whole idea. Now, I could potentially edit XMLs. In fact, I'm certain I could do, and I'll get Soft Squad Graymins give me a hand, or Bendercat, or even Northern Family Farms. I've got my kind of 3 go-to people there who can definitely give me a hand with figuring out how to edit XML, and that could still be a little option where I can hand plant the grass. Doesn't seem impossible. But what I have done in the meantime, because actually I feel like the slip is probably a little bit too much, and I've had conversations with people a long time back now, but sometimes it's a bit too much. Certainly in grass it's a bit too much. It slips far too easy. So I've tweaked the setting ever so slightly where it doesn't cause so much damage so easily. So it's still going to cause the damage, but I mean, like, all of that right in front of us there, if we had that across the whole field, we'd need to replant the whole field. It's just too much, and that's with me taking it real careful. So yeah, I've tweaked the settings. I think actually probably for a more realistic benefit anyway. Now, let's turn this around, get this disconnected, hopefully, and we'll jump back onto the mower, get a little bit more grass done. We've also got to... Well, we don't need to row it, because this mower kind of rows it. Although I tell you what, as I'm saying it, you're probably hearing the pause in my voice as the cogs on my head are ticking. I'm wondering if getting a cheap row could be a really good solution to damaging even less of the field. You know, that might be an option. So, right, let's just have a look at the menu. So I can't buy anything. I have to drive back to the shop. But let's look in the used shop actually while we're here. Loads of extra stuff, but at the minute, nothing we want. Although, no, I mean, that's so much of our money, isn't it? A pallet fault would be very handy. Because at the minute, we're trying to pick up bales and things with that silage fault. There's a notice the same ones there. Maybe that's for, is that the exact same one? No, it's a different version. I want to say that's a telehandler one. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything immediately into there. Now, again, I think even having that Mahindra at this point would have been handy for this bag situation I've got, but yeah, doesn't matter. What does this do? This actually, that is a grass roller, isn't it? So that's another option. We don't have that much money anyway. These are the sort of things we need to get into when we have the money, but not right now. Right, so what did I just say I wanted to look at? I forgot what I said already. I know. A rower. Let's have a look. Right, so they start 5 grand there, but I'm sure I've put... Yeah, I almost bought this, didn't I? But it wasn't actually this. I almost bought the Tedder version of it, which would have been embarrassing. But actually, look, £1,300. That's a big chunk of our money, and I think it would leave us short for the next episode because we have got some bills coming out, haven't we? Yeah, we can't do that. No. Okay, right. Well, let's keep it real and just work with what you got. I haven't got a choice. Let's get on with this now. Sometimes in life, if you don't have the money spare to get the right job to do it, you find something similar, don't you? Something that does a similar job and you just make it work. That is exactly what we're going to have to do. Will be wonderful though. It'll be absolutely amazing when it is picked up, when it's compacted. Oh dear, I didn't go back far enough, did I? When it's picked up and compacted and starting the silage process, which it will be a very slow process. It will be, because you know we're doing 3 episodes per month, aren't we? Again, this series is slow progress. It absolutely is. And I don't know if you're someone that enjoys watching someone like Daggerwin and you thought his series was too slow. Maybe this series is too slow. It certainly made me wonder recently because the Alma, Missouri map is the absolute complete opposite. Couldn't be any more different. I have money, I have ways to earn so much money easily. It's just completely different. So much so that actually Alma's kind of been a bit of a, I don't know, like a reality check of actually, don't forget you can play the game a different way to just absolutely struggling with everything you do, and it is actually pretty enjoyable. So I don't know, I love this series. I think the series is great, but maybe it's a smidgen too slow, but it still damages the field as well. I turned the settings down and it's still doing it. I've still got to be careful. Yeah, I don't know. And what I am thinking though is, I haven't checked it in this episode, but in the last episode we had the ability to take out, I want to say like a 17 grand loan. And a couple of people, I think Bendercat was one of them, said, why don't I take out the loan to kind of pay off the other loans, almost like a debt consolidation, I guess, so that we've just got one payment out, which might be an idea, and that might be something I need to look into in a minute, because that might reduce next month's bills, because it's been a while since I've played it, but part of me wants to say it's going to be 2.5 grand worth of bills in a minute, and we don't even have that much, which means we'll start the next episode in debt, which is not a great idea, not really. Yeah, maybe I'll have a look. Right, okay, first of all, I think I need to get the rest of this cut, just makes sense to get it cut, because then it's all growing again at the right amount of time. We certainly don't want to have any of this left over as we go into December, because that will affect the kind of growth stages, I think. Not that we'll probably get much growth throughout winter anyway. But let's just get on and get this done. And then to break it up, well, I'll do a little bit of compare the market on loans, see what the best option to do is. But yeah, part of me does think maybe don't do consolidation, just take out the mats we can get and maybe get ourselves an additional field just to speed up the life when we're trying to keep it real. Maybe that's a good call. Okay, there we go. It's doing this thing again, let's see. Look, we've got the whole kind of cursor thing going on while we're sat down. I think it maybe is just this man. I never noticed it before. I didn't notice it before. Anyway, right. Let's reverse this up. Back under shelter. We may not need this man anymore this episode. We might be alright. What are we at now? It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon game time. So, we're still doing alright. It works out quite nice keeping an episode when you start early and leave it on times 10. When it pretty much gets to like 4 or 5 o'clock, I know that's about the right time to end the episode. So it's really handy actually having it on times 10. It works out quite well. Now as soon as I started that, I got the old fuel is low beep. So that isn't very good, is it? Now, how do I actually play this game again? Someone remind me how to do it? Unload, there you go. So we might as well unload that, get all of that gone. Doesn't look like a lot of grass when you're unloading it into this. Really good silo mod, by the way, definitely. It is a good mod. Now what am I doing? Turn that on. Now actually I did say, let's stop the engine. Let's jump into our loan system, see what we got. Obviously ignore the bottom one again if you're new to this series. On this episode, that was just the initial me clearing off that starting loan that you always get. So what do we actually owe? Yeah, we do owe quite a lot there, don't we? I think 2 grand is what we took out maybe last episode, was it? The episode before? Right, let's take out a loan. What? So we can borrow 14 grand, can't we? We can. So maybe take out a loan. Let's get me mouse, type it in there. Right, 13,880. Let's just max out our loan. Okay, right. That doesn't work. Let's go 13,878. There you go. It's been a bit funny. I wonder what the maximum amount of years is we can repay. What is it? I could do with. I wonder if it will let me do it over 48. No, it won't. Will it let me do it over 36? The maximum I'm allowed to do it over is 20. Okay. So we're not really. Wow. The repayment amount also is 19.5 grand, so it's costing us a lot of money. Does it make more sense though than having 2 small loans? Does it make more sense? I don't know. I think so. As a consolidation, I think that probably is the right thing to do. So we'll take out that loan and we will special redemption pay off. Oh, hang on a minute. Special What was it? Come on, there we go. Right, it wouldn't load the console. The Xbox controls. Right, the amount that I want to pay is £9,790. Make that? Is it going to do it? Okay, right, and then this one. The amount I want to pay is 2,000. Right. Okay. So we've consolidated it. Maybe that's made the payment in the next episode a little bit cheaper. Maybe. But we've now got 3,741. I could just pay that straight off of that loan amount, couldn't I? But actually, do we need it? Do we need it to progress here somewhere? We'll leave it on there a minute. We do have to refuel this with fuel, so that's something. Yeah, we'll keep hold of the additional cash for a minute. In actual fact, that would at least clear. So you've had to take out a loan to have enough money to repay the loan. Doesn't that feel real? I bet there's quite a lot of people that have been in that situation before. Okay, right, first full load of this episode, and actually we've picked up a lot more of that field than what I thought we would. So maybe there's not much more, maybe there's only one more load in it. Yeah, that's not amazing, is it? It's not amazing. Yeah, maybe we might get one and a bit, not much more than that though, I'm sure. Right, we need to get this concreted out better as well, because this is difficult to drive on, which is more expense, more cost. I don't know. Right, let's try and get this as even as possible. The advantage of this Agri's absolutely massive tyres is it shouldn't be any problem at all to compact. I hope not anyway. Right, let's go again. Okay, right. It's not quite full load, it's 98%. My concern is though, the fuel light is just started flashing. And if I run out of fuel, it's one of those rules that I've not had to do yet because I've just not been in that position. But if I run out of fuel without actually having a small vehicle to drive to the fuel station and buy a jerry can, I potentially might get a bit stuck. Have to get the tractor recovered or reset. If I reset it, there's a charge for that. There's a recovery charge. I want to say that I said it's £1,000 as well right at the beginning. We can't afford that. We cannot afford to pay out £1,000 on nothing. So what we're going to do is turn it off, disconnect it, and hope that just for a minute the man is going to be able to do the last little bit for us. I think that's the safest option. So we'll leave that just here, parked out of the way. We'll jump into the man No, I didn't actually detach that, did I? Which is good. I've got to start the engine to lower it, of course. Right, get that disconnected. If I can get around, there you go. Good. The front loader might work as a bit of a counterweight, I don't know. We'll leave that on. We'll just see how the man gets on with this. It might actually be okay. It might be okay. The reason I didn't use it before is because I was worried the thinner tyres would cause even more damage. And it might do. It might do. But everything connects to it, which is good. Doesn't seem to be struggling too much. The man actually has a better turning circle. That Fiat Agri, because the tyres are just so big, it does not turn very well at all. It really doesn't. Okay, right. It's doing a good job, isn't it? I'm not leaving any... Yeah, I'm not damaging the ground anywhere, so that's good. Right, we'll do the rest with the man. And maybe, just maybe, filling up the Agri with fuel is a good thing to do. Literally filling it up, which I cannot afford to do very often. But once all the bills are paid, beginning of the next episode, maybe it's worth doing. Maybe it's worth investing the money in a full tank of fuel. I think that's a good shout. I don't actually think this is going to take too long. Probably to the extent where it's not worth time lapsing. So I'll just do a little bit of talking, and then we'll just skip straight to the end. And I've got a few things I want to mention actually. So the this is kind of more of a gossip side of things, I guess. Every video that you've seen recently has been recorded in a little bit of advance. So everything I've been saying has not really been live. And I don't know, I just want to mention it. Boxing. Oh, I think I've mentioned it before. I love boxing. I think boxing's probably my favourite sport. Then followed by football, because I do like football. But yeah, since recording all of my last episodes, all the Mud Runner episodes, there's actually been some boxing on. It was Anthony Joshua against Francis Ngannou. So whether you like boxing, whether you like UFC, you probably kind of know who those people are. But I just wondered, it was $18.99 for the pay-per-view. I always pay for it. I've got a subscription with DAZN anyway, which is the boxing broadcaster, I guess, the channel for watching boxing. But yeah, an extra $18.99 for a pay-per-view. I had an amazing undercard, so it was worth the money. It was worth the money, but the main event, that was quite short-lived. That didn't last very long at all, but for good reasons. For good reasons, from a boxing point of view, anyway. For good reasons, it was incredible. It was incredible. It was a really, really good fight to watch. All 4 minutes 45 seconds of it, or whatever it was. Yeah, just wonder what did anyone watch it? What were your thoughts? I'd be curious to know. Okay, here we go. Pretty much there. Interestingly, the little the cursor thing's not there this time. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It is quite annoying. Now we have got some little fluffy bits dotted around. I might as well pick them up, because you want to maximise your yield, but at the same time, the more driving I have to do on this field, as you just seen then, the more damage I'm going to cause to the grass. So yeah, maybe. Yeah, I just damaged a whole chunk there. I'm right under my wheel now. Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, it is not worth... Why won't that turn off? Oh, there you go. It's not worth driving around and getting those few little bits, because it's actually causing even more damage. Look. The man does struggle when this is loaded. It's really struggling now, actually. So I'm going to have to be super careful. Oh dear. This is not good. Come on, there we go. Got some momentum. Oh dear. Well, when you get a bit of momentum, it's not so bad. But yeah, we are causing quite a lot of damage there. Yep. That is not very good at all. It must be the weight. It was doing alright up until that point. So it's definitely the weight of kind of a 3/4 full load. I've got a little bit more grass than I thought there, so that's good. I estimated wrong. I'm happy to do that when you get more than what you guess. So we have got another, let's say 6,000, because I was a bit short of the last one anyway. So that's good. Now, I do hope that this tyre slip is not actually costing us any of our chaff. It might let us forward. Oh dear, this isn't going good. The man is not suitable for this job. For future reference, the man is not suitable for this job. No, absolutely not. Right, let's go the long way around. I'm not risking any more damage. Oh, well, I say thank you for letting me out. You didn't have a choice then, to be honest, but I do appreciate that. Okay, we now no longer have anywhere to put anything because we've filled all of this yard up. We've probably got nothing at the other yard. Okay, that'll do. Right. Is this going to be just enough fuel to do the compacting? I hope so. We'll do it from the back because that's where the big wide tyres are. It's going to take a little bit more to compact all of this because, you know, the difficulty isn't on easy. I believe, I'm pretty sure I found in the past, when the difficulty is on easy, the compacting is also easy. So this may take a few goes at it, but not too bad. I probably should have brought down the weight. Any extra help would have been good, wouldn't it? But it's fun. This agri has not got enough fuel to get back to the yard anyway. Okay, we are nearly there. 98%. This must nearly do it now. I reckon driving out of here would do it. 100%. Cool. I am glad because look at the fuel gauge. And also, look at how dark it is. Right, we'll leave that there. Turn that off. Turn the lights off. You can't see anything. Hopefully you can now. It is dark. It is dark. I don't think I would have time-lapsed that because why would you want to see a time-lapse of me driving backwards and forwards? But I might have done. Depends on how long the episode's looking now, to be honest. Bit of a weird thing going on here. For some reason it's kept that as grass. I think maybe I went a bit too close to the kind of the back of it. And it has kept that as grass rather than change that to chaff. But that's fine. 100% compacted, 37,126 litres. Amazing. Right, we're going to blanket it. We're going to cover it up. I'm curious to know just how much of it won't cover because I did end up compressing it a bit too far out. Let's go. There we go. Nice. So, yeah, that's not wasted. It's just ready for next time, isn't it? And actually, the 37,000 litres wasn't counting that part anyway. It's also instantly jumped to 2%. That's promising, isn't it? That is promising. So yeah, next time around we'll pick that bit up that's spilled out and we'll get that put back in there anyway. Not a problem, not a big deal. We are going to have to look at getting this area compacted. Getting it painted, sorry, because just look at the damage I'm doing here. Just makes it difficult. Probably needs to be leveled out a bit more as well. But anyway, so given that it's dark now, there's a few little time lapses in this episode, but it's safe for me to guess that this is probably about right for timing. So no idea, but as long as it's around sort of 40 minutes, more than half an hour, but nowhere near an hour, that's good for me. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Episode 39 this was, I think I said. So yeah, let's see how that fermenting process goes, and hopefully, really hopefully, if you are someone who thinks this series is a bit too slow, things are looking up. Things are looking up. We're going to have a bit of a cash boost soon. That's going to be amazing. Lovely. Thanks for watching, and until the next episode, or until the next one of my episodes, probably throwing expeditions in, I'm not going to lie, but until then, thanks for watching. Cheers and gone.